Hello. I think I'm live. I'm live here on Facebook, here on Instagram, and here on YouTube. So if this is your first time watching this, I've been doing this for about 4 weeks now. We are in the end of a series called Holistic Way to Set Goals for Healthy and Happy Life. And this is part 4. So when I start this series, I want to be able to do this on Facebook and on Instagram at the same time and put the video on YouTube. If you have been watching and you have the workbook, which by the way is free, I will talk about the workbook if you don't have it. If you have been watching, you want to watch the YouTube video. I know we are having problems with iMovie transferring those videos to YouTube, but you can watch on whatever platform of choice you are right now, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. I'm saving all these lives and you can watch it forever there. And if God allows, it will be on YouTube very soon as well. If you do not have the workbook, it is a complete free workbook. You can go to EdenInsider.com or to our website, EdenDailyEssentials.com, and just go in Eden Insider. You can download. We're going to send you by email. My beautiful social media manager, Emily, she designed this beautiful PDF. So if you're the pen and paper type of person, you're going to love that. You can download for free. We are going to send it to you by email, and you can take notes in this whole series. If you don't know me, my name is Fernanda Longo. You can call me Faye Longo if you prefer. I am the founder, CEO of Eden Daily Essentials. We make the best all-natural soaps, skincare, candles, all kinds of goodies. So if you have not tried that, today is a perfect day because we are having a Valentine's Day special. So you can get any of our bundles for 15% off. It started yesterday. This is special all the way to Valentine's Day. You have to use a code at checkout. I am pretty sure it's VDay 2022, but I will go back and add this to the description of the video. If you're watching the video after Valentine's Day 2022, I'm sorry, it expires on that day. But if you're watching live or anytime between now and Valentine's Day, you can get a lot of our products, all the bundles, 15% off, okay? So I'll put the code, you just add the code on checkout. But here we go. Let's get started. I apologize that usually I go live at 10 in the morning. Today I'm going live in the afternoon because it's a snow day here and I have 100 kids at home, which I only have 3, but it does feel like 100. So if you're watching right now and you have your kids at home too and it feels like 100, just give me a heads up, let me know. Let's go. Let's get going because I know you're all busy with all your kids just like I am today and tomorrow. They already said that tomorrow is going to be a snow day as well. So today we're going to talk about making a plan. If you're new to this series, if this is the first video you're watching, I highly recommend you. If you're watching live, stay with me. If you're watching the replay, I highly recommend you to go back and watch part 1, 2, and 3 because they are in order for you to understand better what we're going to be talking about now. If you're watching live, once this is done, go back and watch part 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so what we are talking about is how can you make progress towards living a healthier and happier life without going crazy, because there is an extreme unhealthy living right now. Either you have to hustle and bustle and just do it and hate your life, but for the sake of being healthy, or you just tell everything to just F it and just do whatever you want because you're going to be hating your life anyway if you do what you need to do. And both of those extremes are toxic. Whether it's saying just get it done or whether it's saying just don't worry about it, both of them are toxic. So what we are trying to do here is finding a middle ground that works for you. And that's why I'm putting this series together, because I could just create a 10 steps for healthy living, but that 10 steps is what worked for me. And I've done that before. I've created content like that before. I had people download guides, 5 things that you can do to live healthy. And those things does work, but those things are temporarily. If you want to live a healthier long term, you have to make a plan that works for you. That will be different than the plan that works for me. That will be different than the plan that works for your neighbor, and so forth. Okay. So this is why this is so important. Week 1, we talked about why do you want to live healthier and happier. I believe that most people, if not everyone, wants to live healthier and happier. The question is why. You have to find out your why. So you have a motivation, because motivation, it does not come like, I don't wake up and say, oh, I feel like right now getting on Facebook and talking about why you need to get healthy and happier. No, like, we are not motivated beings naturally. Okay. So what motivates us is the why we do the things we do. So if you want to get healthy, if you want to get happier, you need to know why you want that. Are you doing that so what I think is, I am 34 years old. If I leave, as long as I have a great grandmother that is alive right now as we speak. She's my great grandma, and I'm 34 years old. Hello, Amy. Hello, Misty. If you girls are watching, or guys, and sometimes Facebook shows me your name, sometimes it doesn't. So say hi so I can say hi back to you. Yeah, so I have a great grandma in Brazil, South America, right now as we speak, 2022, that she is alive, and I'm 34 years old. So my family lasts a long time, and if I'm planning to live close to how long they're living, let's say I will have 50 more years, and I do not want to live 50 miserable years. I want to live 50 good years. I want to live 50 happy years. So that's my why, okay? And then second, of course, I have kids. I want to have energy to do things with my kids that they enjoy. I want to be in a mood when I put my kids to bed at 8 o'clock, 8:30, that I don't want to just kill my husband just from him being there. You know what I'm saying? I want to just be in a good mood so I can have a conversation with an adult. So those things are important for me to be happy. And so being healthy is not for the sake of being healthy, but being healthy to support the type of happy life I want to live. Okay, so this is the why. We talked about this the week 1. I talked about this for 30 minutes that week. So if you didn't watch, you can go back and watch that episode. That's part 1. Once again, there's the PDF, the free PDF. There's questions there. You can kind of brainstorm things that why you want to be healthy and happy, right? Then second week, we talked about our real situation, because we can only get somewhere if we know where we are. So that has a lot of important questions, like where you are with your health, where you are with your mindset, your mental health, and so forth. Week 3, we talk about vision. So once we know where we are, we need to have a vision of where we are going. If we sit in our car and we don't know where we want to go, and we just want to walk around, drive around, not walk, but you're sitting on the car, sorry. You're sitting on the car. If you just want to drive around, it's okay. Sometimes I do that for the sake of my mind, right? But we're not going to get anywhere, right? I can drive around for 30 minutes and then I'm going to come right back to my house. So if you want to get somewhere, if you are in a place in your life that you feel like you're not healthy, but you want to get somewhere that you want to be healthy, you want to be happier than you are now, you have to have a vision of where you want to get and what that looks like. And we talk about that on week 3 last week. And then today we're going to talk about how we make a plan to get from where we are defining on week 2 to where we want to be, that we talked about last week, okay? So to make this plan, I'm going to break it down. We've been breaking all this down in 3 parts, right? Body, mind, and soul. I explain all that too in week 1. So, but just for the sake of understanding, okay, we're going to break this in body, mind, and soul. If you've been following along this for weeks, you probably have a little homework that you've been working on. And I want you to get that paper, that notebook, or just think about it if you are like me and more on, like, I do my homework in my mind. And you can just think about it and say, okay, so where am I on my body, my physical body, my physical health? Because we talk about physical health, or mental health, and our spiritual health, right? So where am I on my physical health right now? um, do I have enough energy? Can I eat? What kind of foods can I eat? Are there foods that I love, but for some reason I cannot eat, that just don't work well with me, or so forth? So, like, where you are, and then where you want to be. I want to be a person full of energy. I want to be a person that wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning and are up all the way to 10 and are like living it up. Yes. So where you are, where you want to be, and then how we make a plan for that. So I'm going to give myself as an example, but once again, what works for me may not work for you, and that's why this homework is so important to you. So I always talk a lot about energy. It's very important to me. I do not have enough energy that I want to have. I want to have more energy, right? So where I am right now, I need to drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day just to keep up with my life. I want to be a person that I still will drink coffee because I like coffee, but I want to drink 1 coffee in the morning. And if I want to drink more coffee, it's for the sake of enjoyment and not for the need of caffeine, right? I want to be a person that at 8 o'clock, when I put my kids to bed, I'm just not clocking it out. You're going to bed right now. I don't care because I'm so tired, right? I want to be a person that I have the energy to sit down and read a story, or I read for my kids, but I do not read at bedtime because I am so tired by the time they go to bed. I cannot do that. So I want to have that energy. I want to have energy to stay up past 9 o'clock without being extremely moody, right? So what do I need to do to go from A to B? And then once again, for me, I know because I've done a lot of food logs, not for the sake of calories, but for the sake of understanding how food reacts in my body. I know that if I eat certain foods, I may get hyper in the next 10 minutes and then I drop it right after that and I am done. Like a lot of times, for example, if I eat pasta for lunch, my whole day is over. I can just like cancel all my meetings. Just nothing else is going to happen if I eat pasta at lunchtime. Because pasta, I have yeast allergy. So pasta hyper up my energy for 10 minutes and then I crash and I'm done for at least 8 to 10 hours. My phone's ringing. Okay, so I see some people coming in. Hi, Hannah. Yeah, once again, if you're hopping in, say hi. And if you're watching the replay, say #replay so I know you watch it. So I know that eating pasta for lunchtime, bad decision. Bad decision. Might as well drink beer because your day's going to be over anyway, right? Other thing, since I mentioned alcohol, how alcohol reacts to you. I haven't drank alcohol for a long time. And if you know me, you know that this is a surprise. I've been a drinker for many years, and I'm just going to leave it that here. But I haven't had any alcohol for several months because I know that it destroys my energy. I may feel like I'm hyper for a few minutes and then I'm over. A lot of times my next day's over. So I made the decision of not doing anything that would destroy my energy. Sugar is a huge issue for me also because of my food allergies, and sugar will spike up my allergy and I have extreme fatigue. Also, sugar causes me to have joint pain, like arthritis type pain because of inflammation. Once again, this is what happened to me. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying that that's why you have a fatigue or inflammation or anything, okay? This is what happens to me. I've seen with my doctors, my blood works, and a lot of food log and stuff like that that I've been dealing with for many years. So I can tell you that this is what works for me. You need to figure it out, these things for you. So what are things that you eat at lunchtime that makes you feel good your afternoon? What are things that you eat at lunchtime that destroys your day? So this is a good question. Write it down. Like, when was a day that you had a lunch and you're like, oh my gosh, that day was super productive afterwards. I did so much nice stuff in that afternoon. And what are days that you're like, I ate that breakfast in the morning and I just might as well stayed in bed all day. So think about those things. I don't have it, but I know many of you have stomach issues because of lactose or because of gluten or because of many other things. So what are triggers that causes you to be uncomfortable because you eat that type of food? Like, it's important for you to know that, because we can go to the drugstore and buy a Band-Aid for that. There's Lactaid, for example, for those who are have allergy to lactose, which I don't have at this moment. So I'm happy about it. But there's Lactaid, for example. Lactaid works good for one time or here or there, but it's a Band-Aid. It's not something that you should be doing every day. So you need to be aware of that situation, right? I have allergy to A, so I'm going to avoid A. I'm not going to put a Band-Aid so I can consume A every single day of my life. This is important for you to decide. That's why the why is so important. So you can make those decisions and say, I'm giving an example of the lactose. I love ice cream, but I lactose and I don't match. So I'm not gonna eat ice cream every day. I may eat ice cream on some special occasions, and then I have a Band-Aid for those occasions, but it's not gonna be my everyday routine, right? So I want you to think about 3 things you can do. You can write it down and you can do this next week to make progress. It's not going to be about perfection, but to make progress towards your daily healthy body. So it could be some, like, not eat candy for a week. You are not cutting all sugar. You're still eating pasta. You're still eating maybe a cinnamon roll for breakfast, but you're not eating candy. For example, this can be an example. Other thing that for me is really important is the amount of hours that I sleep every night. I need to have at least 7 hours of sleep. That's what it is for me. 8 hours is very good. 9 would be ideal. It has been a long time since it happened. If I sleep 8 hours, I feel good. My husband, on the other hand, he can sleep 6.5 hours and he's fine. He's normal, like he has energy. So this goes from person to person. So for me, sleeping 8 hours a day is a big thing. Other thing that for me was a big deal, and that was one of the reasons I found Eden in the first place, is my skin. I have super sensitive, dry skin. So I could not wash dishes, for example. I could not wash dishes. The dish detergent destroyed my hands. So I had to find other options of natural, and that's why I create the natural dish soap, which is a soap bar that I wash dishes because I cannot use detergent. So when I would take a shower, I like to take hot showers. I would get out of the shower and my skin would be super red because I have a sensitivity to sulfate. So that for me was a big deal. When I clean out every single product from my personal care, from my bathroom, from my kitchen, cleaning supplies that had sulfate, that had a lot of the ingredients that I have a sensitivity to, and I replaced with healthy options, with natural options, with options that does not have toxins that irritate my skin. So for me, that was a big deal. A lot of people don't see this until it happens to them, right? Until your hands are bleeding because you wash the dishes and the detergent just cut your hands right here. Not the detergent, but the combination. You know what I'm saying, if you deal with that. So that for me was a big deal. You can say, I'm going to clean out my bathroom and get rid of the personal care products that gives me sensitivity. Okay, some people do a lot of hairspray. I cannot do hairspray. There's some reason when I do hairspray, my scalp burns, feels like it's set on fire. So I cleaned out everything. So if you have this type of sensitivity, that would be definitely one thing that you would add in these 3 steps. Okay. So for me, like I said, not eat sugar, clean out my personal care products, sleep 8 hours. Those would be 3 things that I would write it down that I did. long time ago when I did this type of exercise, those are 3 things that I wrote it down. Like, I'm going to change that this week. And once again, you don't have to be like completely perfect. I'm not going to eat any sugar. And then you don't realize that you go to somebody, your friend brings in a Starbucks and you start drinking. And halfway through, you're like, well, I'm not supposed to drink any sugar. And you feel like you committed the unforgivable sin. That's not the case. Okay. We are here working on progress, not perfection. So you're going to write down those 3 points and you're going to work on progress on those 3 points. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move on to mind. The body is definitely the hardest one for you to work on those things. So mindset. Last week and the last couple of weeks, we talking about where you are with your mental health and where you want to be. What are the things that bring you anxiety? What are the things that cause you to feel sad? And we talking about the last couple of weeks as well. If you have diagnosed mental health conditions, you need to be working with a doctor. I am not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. This is a suggestion if you have the blues. Okay, so like right now it's winter, a lot of us get the winter blues. So what are things on your lifestyle that you can change that can support your mental health? And if you have conditions, you may need to work with your doctor to get prescription and work with yourself and your lifestyle to support that treatment that your doctor is giving to you, right? So the same thing, we're going to think of 3 things that we can change on our habits, our mental health habits, to move forward and a happier and healthier mindset, right? So for me, what that would look like, boundaries with people that make me feel the way I don't want to feel. Social media boundaries. There are people that we absolutely love, but their posts can be triggering because they're in a phase of their lives that you may experienced, and that phase wasn't good for you, and you see their post and it's not what the person is with the content that they create, right? So if you have people on your social media that are posting things that are triggering to you and you always still love them, you still want to be their friend on Facebook, right? You can just unfollow their account. Okay. Or if you're a person that you love everybody, but you spend 8 hours a day on your phone scrolling to social media, that could be more productive things you could be doing at that time. So maybe you'll put a boundary with you and your phone and say, I can, like the phones now, you can actually estimate a limit time per app. So you can go there and say, I'm just going to spend 30 minutes on Facebook today, every day, and put it in there. And when your time is out, your phone will say your time is out and will log you out of the app until midnight next day. So this is some ideas. You don't have to do this. This is some ideas that you can do. So for me, it's a lot of boundaries with people, boundaries with social media. Once again, sleep. Sleep changes my mood so much. If I am tired, I am just in a terrible mood. So sleep is very important for my mental health too. Having my child go to school at the age of 1.5 was very important for my mental health. Okay, so there are things that people may judge you for because you're doing those things. I had so many people saying, why are you sending your child to school? They're so young. I needed that 3 hours, excuse me. And I have a business and I have other things that I do, but you do not even have to have an excuse. If it's better for your mental health and you can do it, go ahead and do it. As long as you're not hurting anybody, of course. But anyway, so I want you to think of 3 things that you can do right this week. They can be small things that is going to make progress towards a happier mindset. Okay. And then the last thing is the soul. So in your soul, I wanted to make it even easier for you. I want you to think of one thing. Okay. I want you to make 3 changes, like physical, 3 changes, mental, mindset. And then I want you to think of one thing you can change on your soul. And our soul is actually our mind, our will, and our emotions. Okay, so not necessarily you have to think about belief, like faith, which my faith is very important to me. But if you're not a person of faith, you can just think of your mind, your will, and your emotions, and think what is one progress you can make in those areas this week. Is small progress. And it could be something like when I'm about to lose with my children, I will take a step back and I'm going to read a page of this book. In this book, and like for me, I like to read the Bible. I'm going to read a chapter of Psalms. For example, if you are not a Bible reader, you can say whatever book you like, or you can say I'm gonna listen to a song from fill in the blank with your favorite singer, songwriter, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna find a thing that will take you out of that situation, change your emotions, change your will, and then you go back to the situation and you deal with the right way. Okay, so that's a progress that I want you to write it down as a challenge for you to work on this week. I know this sounds like a lot. You're going to be working on 3 things for body, 3 things for mindset, and 1 thing for your emotions, your soul. But I wanted those things to be micro, super small. So they most likely there are things that you already do. So you already sleep. Maybe you need to sleep more hours. You are already on your phone. Maybe you need to reduce the hours that you are on your phone. Maybe the extra hours that you are on your phone, you could be sleeping. You are already eating and drinking. Maybe you should drink more water and less pop. That's an idea. Or maybe you should eat more fruits and vegetables, or well, I like to put things that make it easy for me. So, for example, I like to choose a couple choices of breakfast. More of like a sweet time with oatmeal and fruit and yogurt, and then a salty eggs, and I like Ezekiel toast. And then I wake up in the morning, or I like a shake. So I always have 3 types. Shakes are the days that I don't have time to eat. I'll make a shake, and I know I have the nutrients I need. But if I have time to eat, am I feeling like more of a sweet yogurt type or more of a salty eggs type? So I like to make these decisions and say I'm just going to eat that, either A or B or C. So if my husband wake up and say I feel like making cinnamon rolls, he can make cinnamon rolls. I'm not going to eat it because my options are A, B, or C, right? So you can make small changes of things that you're already doing today with the time that you already have, with the money that you already have. And then you can maybe put 1 or 2 things that will take you out of your comfort zone a little bit more drastically. You know what I'm saying? But I would not recommend more than 1 or 2. The other things I want you to think on a small progress. Okay. So yeah, I said, because my kids are home, I said, I'm just going to do this in 10 minutes, but here I am, 28 minutes. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope this series was very informative to you. I hope it helped you start looking at your healthy and happy life in a way that you can change. Are there things that you're not happy with? You can change. You have the power to change. You don't have the power to change everything, but you have the power to change almost everything. Some things. And you have the power to make progress on everything. Okay, you may not change it, but you can make progress on everything. So once again, download that free PDF. You can just go to our website, www.edendailyessentials.com. If you want to try any of our amazing natural products, try the bundles. We're having a special on bundles from now all the way to Valentine's Day. You can just use the code VDAY2022 and checkout, and you get 15% off all the bundles. Okay, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye bye.